We were talking on the best and the worst performing bourses in Africa last week, and Nigeria looking really strong, up around 3.5%. Again, it's really got to do with some of those banking stocks that rallied on the back of better than expected results out of some of the companies. Akinola, is this performance expected to continue going forward?
Yes, it is. We have to look at UBA's numbers. We have to look at the capital market probes that happened last week. We expect some sort of a rally. Good things are coming from that side, from the capital and Abuja, from the capital markets probe. But we can start off with looking at UBA's numbers. The profit, the PBTs for the first quarter did about a 200% growth rate over quarter on quarter. So that was really good. I think they have clean balance sheets now. And they're showing really good numbers. I expect that to continue good things to continue to happen over time.
You mentioned the likes of UBA. Let's also touch on First Bank, also releasing their full year 2011 results. We've actually seen them closing limit up as well last week. Akinola, these are the kind of numbers that people were actually expecting. Are the banking stocks a buy for you right now? Some of these stocks are looking quite healthy from a PE perspective.
Yes, a lot of these stocks are still undervalued. A lot of these stocks still have a lot of potential. A lot of these stocks are still trading way below their tangible book values. First Bank, UBA, a lot of the banks on our exchange are definitely undervalued. They're showing good numbers. Most of the banks have cleaned up their balance sheets. They sold their bad debts to AMCON. So, going forward, there's just room for extra growth, and there's room for the banks to focus on their strategies, to come up with more innovative products, and to grow. I also see some acquisitions, happening. These banks could also acquire banks across West Africa, in terms of from an expansion perspective. So good things are happening. We can see some of these banks also, improving their numbers from their other African divisions and African businesses, and those growth numbers are definitely pushing up the prices.
Okay, so the banking sector as a whole up around 10% for last week. Akinola, what other sectors are you looking at for potential investment right now? There's also a lot of optimism with regards to those consumer stocks. Anything tickling your fancy there?
Yeah, you should always look at the food and beverage sector. You should always look at also companies that deal with cement. You can look at flour mills. There's a good opportunity there. In the food and beverage sector, there's also very good opportunities. Oil and gas, O&O has been taking a beating over the last couple of weeks, but you can still see some undervaluation sipping into the O&O franchise. So there are definitely stocks across the board on our market that you can come in. Yeah. Last week we saw a rally due to bargain hunters. Week round we did like a 5% return, and the bargain hunters are focusing on this. They're looking for this, so there are definitely a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. Okay, so let's delve into other issues that have come to the fore. Akinola, House of Representatives to probe unclaimed dividends. What is your view on what could possibly play out here, and how is this going to affect the markets?
Yeah. As we all know, in Africa, a lot of investment is driven by dividends. So if these unclaimed dividends are not given to the investors, it's definitely going to cause a problem. The House believes that there's some sort of manipulation by the companies involved when it comes to processing the checks for these for these dividends. And I really don't think it's that deep. I think it really comes down to what we've been saying for a long time. It comes down to computerizing these sectors. It comes down to having these e-dividend formats whereby, the investors it's linked to the investors' bank accounts, and it's linked to their accounts. So if they pass on, if they're not, there's some kind of computerized system that automatically keeps the process going. I think this will also help the registrars going forward. Even if you look at the registrar's business, there's going to be a lot of acquisitions going on in that foray, and it's going to lead to a lot of better processes as we have bigger registrars coming into play.
Well, Akinola, speaking of better processes, SEC ordering adoption of electronic public offerings, and that to come through by 2013, that could change the landscape quite a bit.
Yes, it would. It would enable some sort of a better trading platform. You know, as we're going forward, we're going to also have alternative trading platforms, and it's good to get everything away from the paper, to get everything paperless. You know, Nigeria is definitely on a swing to go paperless as we go forward, and you know, it'll definitely swing the market. We have to look at it from a perspective that, you know, once it gets computerized, it's easier for anyone trying to get into the market to get their share certificates. You know, there's also going to be a penalty going forward for those, I think in 2013, for those who don't want to get computerized, who want to actually get the physical certificates. I think it's a good push to get everyone to go digital.
Fantastic, Akinola. Great to have you on the program. Thank you so much.